What up, friends? Friday afternoon edition of the Geoff Fienberg Show, presented by FTN Daily, presented by PrizePicks. Internet shortages. Happy to report not on my end, but it seems like we are back and running. Hey, I don't know. That's how it goes sometimes. Hey, is what it is. I am here with you. We're going to talk all things in the world of golf. I'll let you know I am going out tonight. I'm going to a baseball game because the Blue Jays are back in town. The Blue Jays are back in town. I couldn't even tell you the last time I was at a game. It feels great. The Blue Jays just made a major trade. I am one of those people that likes to clutch his prospects like fancy pearls. So I'm a little torn, but I'm not complaining. I'm torn, but I'm not complaining. Anytime the team gives up its number one prospect, though, I get nervous. Austin Martin, the 5th overall pick in last year's draft, on his way to Minnesota. Martin's an interesting case study in the sense that many people thought he could have gone 1st overall last year. He went 5 to the Blue Jays. The Blue Jays were incredibly deep up the middle. I think going into the draft, we didn't really see Austin Martin as a possibility for the Blue Jays. He did kind of fall into their laps. Now it feels like there are a lot of people in Blue Jay land making the case that they may have never even wanted Austin Martin anyway. I don't really know how I feel about that, to be totally honest. I think that could be Blue Jay fan trying to convince themselves that this was a good deal. I'm not here to call it a bad deal. The Blue Jays 150% overpaid, in my opinion. Now, that being said, from the Blue Jays perspective, I think I always anticipated trading for a starting pitcher and overpaying were always in the cards. There's never going to be value on that sort of trade. Young starting pitcher with control. He's been to 2 recent All-Star games. Hard to come by and hard to get those guys to end up in Toronto. The Jays always had to trade for that player. They're lucky they have the prospect capital to do that and still have a great farm system. That being said, I guess my only question to true baseball insiders is this package of 2 pitchers could this package of two players the Blue Jays gave up, let's say they wanted to make this trade in the winter, could they have potentially gotten a better pitcher? There aren't many players in Barrios's position on the market, though, right? Let's be clear about that. A few months ago, I guess you would have said Luis Castillo could have potentially been on the market, but aren't the Reds playing fantastic? Certainly not looking to make any trades. I think the Minnesota Twins made a really nice trade for the Minnesota Twins. I also think the Blue Jays got a player that they absolutely needed to get. They paid the price for it, but the Blue Jays needed a front end pitcher. Now, I don't think he needs to be the ace of the Blue Jays. Um, I don't even necessarily think the Jays think like he has to be the ace for the trade to work out, but he needs to be a guy that they could slot, at the top end of their rotation, first, second. I mean, a top of the rotation guy that's incredibly consistent, that's reliable, behind this lineup. The Jays are in an outstanding position. There are few teams in baseball geared to contend for a long haul like the Blue Jays are. And at the beginning of the season, when people always in the offseason, when people wanted them to acquire these pitchers, as an organization, I think they said we're going to sort of take a wait and see approach and see what we actually have here before we do that. And what they realized is, well, we like Alex Manoah and we have Alex Manoah and we believe we can count on Alex Manoah. But from that prospect pool, what they can't count on anymore appears to be Nate Pearson. And as I joked with some of my friends already today, I believe Nate Pearson is the reason this trade had to happen. Had Nate Pearson lived up to his billing or some of it, the Jays probably don't feel like they're in this position to make this trade, or probably feel like they don't have to make this position, be in a position to make this trade. I'm going to continue to talk about this trade more in the hour and the other trades that are happening in baseball as we speak. I am super excited. It's been a really, rough week for myself personally, for my family. And a lot of you said and sent out some really kind words. So I really do appreciate that. And I'm excited just personally tonight. I got to go to a baseball game and I'm going to enjoy it. And I don't want to brag, but I have an outstanding windbreaker collection. So it's like going to be perfect windbreaker weather tonight. Have to decide which one I'm going to, bust. On top of that, we've been locked down a lot longer than you have here. So there haven't been many opportunities to go out, especially to a gathering like a baseball game. So I was looking through the shoes today. Which kicks is Fienberg going to rock tonight? Well, I can tell you Fienberg's rocking his Griffey ones because we're going to the ball game. We're going to the ball game, people. Fired up. You guys can think I'm cornball. That's easy. That's fine. I accept it. This is the first game in Toronto in nearly, 600 goddamn days. I love the Blue Jays. I talk about the Chargers a lot. That's sort of what you know me for in the golf stuff, but the Blue Jays and the Chargers, those are my teams. That is my childhood. That is my life. I love them as much as I love chicken tenders. Nothing's changed since I was 6 years old. Okay? So tonight, since we've lost 2 opening days, I really do expect that us, me, myself, and the people at the game, that we get the home opener treatment. I want starting lineups. I want player introductions. It's a home opener. It really is. So I hope the Kansas City Royals got the memo that it's a home opener tonight for the Blue Jays and their fans. I cannot wait. I'll be styling and profiling through the concourse. I really will be. I'm going to give her tonight. You can book it. We've also got interesting health and safety protocols here. There'll only be 15,000 people at the game. And someone said you got to wear a mask the whole time, unless you're eating or drinking. So I'll tell you what Feinberg's going to be doing. He's going to be eating or drinking the whole goddamn time. The whole goddamn time. I don't actually expect them to enforce this thing. And listen, I'm pro safety. I have no issue. I'm not an anti-masker. I'm not any of that stuff. I just don't want to sit at a ball game outdoors wearing a mask. So if I got to nurse an extra large popcorn on my lap for the game with some other snacks and a beverage, I'll do it. I'll do it. If I got to be slow to stand up because I got to put my basket of popcorn down first, so be it. I won't be the first guy standing when Vladdy hits a jack or two. Speaking of that, PrizePicks, PrizePicks.com, promo code FTN, 100% instant match bonus up to $100. It's you versus the projections over at PrizePicks.com. Per usual, so much going on at PrizePick, friends. Olympic golf, Major League Baseball, Olympic basketball, MMA, soccer, virtual sports, NFL props, disc golf, highlight, the whole kit and caboodle over at PrizePicks. But let's narrow it down. Let's talk some Olympic golf here. Projections for the round this evening. I'm certainly going to talk more Olympic golf in a few minutes, coming out of talking PrizePicks to you guys right now. But the guy's going off what? They've been starting at about 6:30, 7 p.m. Beautiful night golf. Fantastic coverage. Going to talk about that in a moment. Xander Schauffele with an over-under projection for his round 3 at 67. Schauffele with a heater after the rain delay. Schauffele, 36-hole leader. A couple clear of the field. He'll certainly be feeling the pressure. Can he keep creating birdie opportunities for himself? 67 over under is the projection. Also rocking a 67 projection in this field. Because there's only two play. Xander's the only one rocking the projection of 67. Rory McIlroy, Hideki Matsuyama, Paul Casey, Shane Lowry, 67.5. Colin Morikawa, Victor Hovland, 68. Thomas, 68.5. Reed, 68.5. Neiman, 68.5. So get it in there. Lots going on over at PrizePicks. Single stat projections. We got an over under birdie or better projection. 5 birdie or better projection for Xander Schauffele tonight. Schauffele fans, Schauffele detractors, what do you make of that? You believe in the guy? Well, 5. 5 sounds like an easy number the way he's rolling. You know? Stick it to the under and stick it to the under. Rory rocking 4.5 with his over-under birdie projections. If I had to make a pick, like if anyone's going to catch Xander, I think it could be Rory. I find myself cheering for Rory. Some of the debates that I got myself in, though, this week, I feel like the ideal scenario for me would be Rory making a miraculous charge up the last few holes to win bronze. I don't want him to steal Siwoo's bronze, if that's the case, but Rory winning bronze and being like incredibly emotional about his bronze medal, that would feel nice, and that would sort of end a lot of like the ridiculous nonsense that I believe was going on in the world of talking about Rory this week. Looking at the fantasy projections, because I'm going to the game, so let's check out what they got on the Blue Jays. Trying to find Vladdy 10. Oh my God. You know you're good when PrizePicks is rocking a 10 on you for your projection. People just love to get in on Vladdy. I should be in the market of seeing if I could trade a few of my Herbert rookies for some Vladdy rookies. Should probably own a couple of Vladdies. That'd probably be a smart move. I got so many Herberts. I'm happy that I own them. I feel like if I were to own any other player in any sport right now, it would be Bo or Vladdy. Clearly with the lean to Vladdy in the moment, but Bo, I guess, would be my second most coveted baseball card. I don't have any of those since I was a kid. Different story for another time. PrizePicks. You got the balls to bet Vladdy to the over tonight? I'm going to the game. So what do we think? 2 jacks? 2 jacks for Vladdy? Uh-oh. Did we just go down? And we've been having technical difficulties. This would be embarrassing. No, I don't know. Seems like we're still here. Coverage has been absolutely amazing for the Olympic golf. Yes, I'll say this. The Olympics golf is like that. Not that I know, like I honestly don't, but I just assume, like just how it's portrayed in movies and such, and the mythical status maybe of it. Like this Olympic golf is like that lady of the night who treats you way better than your regular girlfriend. Is it not? Am I wrong? I mean, here's this fly by night high class escort called the Olympic Games, and she is taking care of me. She is servicing me. She is extra service. Girlfriend experience service. But when it's over, you go back to your girlfriend. She doesn't take care of you. She disrespects you. She spends your money. She does not tell you anything you want to hear. She doesn't put on the television what you want to see. Right? So next week, we're just going to be back to that bullshit. And a couple times a year, I mean, once every 4 years, we got to go home with her. She does a marvelous job. I can tell you right now, I am going to look to bet like a full ladies event. I have two lady bets. I have a bet on Brooke Henderson, and have a bet on Leona McGuire from my boy Baroff. And I think Mike Miller was talking about it. And I don't mean to make the lady bets and because I was talking about escorts. Unrelated. My point being is the golf coverage has been so good. I'm looking forward to watching the ladies event. Like I want full action on it. You're going to show me that? You're going to give me that sort of coverage? I'm willing to invest more. But the IOC knows how to rub me off, friends. I guess they're good at it, right? They're good at, jerking people off under the table. Gross little side deals. That's what the Olympics are probably all about. But that golf coverage, it's been 2 days. And it's like, it'd be like say, the best sex of your life outside of the Masters. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what's like. I don't know how it's possible. There's like, yeah, man, there's a team of people that have been working for 4 years. No, that's not how it works. I don't know how it works. But they should be, it's incredible. And I say this often. I say it with Mayo. I've probably said it here. Like football is so big and powerful. We all love football. The masses love football. The masses buy Sunday ticket. If football was like niche to the hardcore like golf was, Sunday ticket would probably cost like $3,000, $2,000. I don't know. I'm making like ridiculous comments. But my point being is I'm so lucky everyone loves football that they can create a price point for me to watch every Charger game that's like 300. Well, how much is Sunday ticket? You think I should know, but I literally just pay for it without caring. Because I would embarrass myself if I told you guys how much Sunday ticket would have to cost for me to consider not buying it. How much money I would be willing to pay to watch every single, if I had to pay a toll, like you're driving on those bridges in New York State, every Sunday to watch the Chargers, I would pay the toll. And I'd be embarrassed to tell you how much I would go up to just to watch. My point being is like they're not going to create a golf thing where just like us hardcores buy it. It would cost a fortune. They can't do what we want and create a price point cheap enough to satisfy us. Now, Mayo and I have always discussed like we would settle for like rogue radio feeds, but I mean like specific group by group radio feeds. I've always suggested to Mayo that you could get two or you get a radio feed walking. You have a radio feed with each hole, I should say, like a specific radio feed for each hole or a specific radio feed for each group. Incredibly but like a bare bones like broadcast, like sure they you could find guys that might like yuck it up, but you're strictly just getting the information, you're getting it in real time, the guy is like verbally shot tracking for you. That's what I believe that we would see. But yeah, the Olympic coverage for golf has been outstanding, and I'm not really sure. I'm certain we're seeing the same things. But I gotta say, in Canada, watching the Olympics feels, based on what you guys say in your comments and on Twitter from lots of people, watching the Olympics in Canada is truly a joy in terms of how accessible they make it. It's kind of weird to explain to anybody, but imagine if like three major networks in the States all showed the Olympics, like they shared the rights to it. And that's exactly what happens in Canada. So we don't miss a thing. Whether it's like a Canadian athlete that needs to be spotlighted because they're going for a personal best or some crap, or or like a truly world popular event that everyone would want to see that has no Canadians like even in it, or no Canadians would even be worthy of flirting with a medal. Or obviously an event there's a Canadian with a chance to podium. Like we get it all. We don't have to like run to Peacock or find this or find that. They really do a great job. So the Canadian Olympic fan is quite blessed. But the Olympic golf fan, I mean, nobody, we're not taken care of like this anymore. Olympics golf television broadcast is a 5-star escort who really makes you feel special, like you're the one. And watching regular week in week out golf is like the worst girlfriend you ever had, like the most unbearable girlfriend you ever had, who would never put her tongue in the right places. That's the best way I can compare it. For me, I hope that registers with you because that's what it feels like. That's what this event feels like. I'm right. So we'll see, right? We'll see. So we gotta wait to Paris 2024 for great golf TV again. No, the Masters. We get the Masters. Masters is outstanding, but I guess it's more like app supported that makes it outstanding. Because I don't like, do you know how many a round of golf ends? And I think people might overrate how much golf I might actually watch, say in round one. Now, true longtime listeners of my show with Pat, or like the bigger fans of mine, have picked up over the years where I pretty much admit I don't like watching round one. I don't care to track it all morning. It comes on TV so late. To me, everything matters. So, like the bad shots on Thursday would tilt me, and I don't want to be in that place. You never seen me send like a Thursday golf tweet about a performance like before 3 p.m., 2 p.m. on a Thursday. And I do this show on Fridays, and I pretty much sometimes check the leaderboard just before we start because I'm going to talk to you guys. I shouldn't say that. Friday, since we've been doing this show, usually around 11 or noon, I start paying attention because I want to know like the build up to it. But I just, everything matters. Like I don't want to. I need to get, shocking to what like some people may believe, I have things I have to do. There's other responsibilities I have. if I see a guy like has a 6-foot putt for par on a Thursday, I would just like, I wouldn't be able to concentrate till I know that he made it. And if he made it, I wouldn't be happy. And if he missed it, I would just be angry. So I don't want to bring up those feelings in me until I have to, which is essentially the show on Friday. Yeah, there you go. There you go. Right. And I love scrolling to the bottom of the leaderboard and then scrolling back up. And every name that passes, friends, every name that passes that isn't somebody I wagered on or heavily rostered, it's like I hear, like, I don't know, it's a great feeling. But when you see a name that's too low, it hurts a lot. Hurts a lot. And the worst is where you miss a name because you probably got too excited and you think he's near the very top, and then you get all the way to the very top thinking, oh my God, he's there, and he isn't. And you're like, I've been paying really close attention since like 40th place. So how low is this fucker? And where did I miss him? I could take you inside my brain. It's pretty messed up, but that's where I live. I live in here, okay? And as I've said to many of you many a time, I'm not getting crazier. You're just getting to know me better. Huge difference. Huge difference. Tino, this show's been rocking the whole time. You fixed that internet? Seems like you did a pretty bang up job there, buddy. No, I told you I wouldn't call your name, but seems like you got it all figured out. We haven't gone offline.
I'm here. Here I am. Internet is back up and running. I know we had a brief scare there, but here we are. Friday. We're getting through it, right? We're getting through it. We got some baseball later, the both of us. It's
yes,
exciting.
You are going to Mets Reds this evening.
Yep. Carlos Carrasco is back. The black jerseys for the Mets are back, and baseball's back in Toronto. I think that's the more important thing. The Mets are the secondary subject today. I think it's the Blue Jays night. You got Barrios, and your home opener. You have a July 30th home opener. It's exciting.
Yeah, no, we really do. And I don't think I'm being like, I'm fully expecting like home opener treatment tonight. Like introductions, literally like it's April.
The thing is, if they don't do it, you're gonna be disappointed. I don't want you to go there.
No, I'm gonna be disappointed. Like the Royals clubhouse better have sent a memo. Like right now in the Royals clubhouse, they're gonna be like, oh my God, we suck. We've got to get introduced tonight. It's July 30th. Like what the hell's going on here? But yeah, I'm fully expecting home opener type pregame festivity. That is my expectation. If I don't get it, I think that's an epic failure by baseball operations, like of the Blue Jays. Like that would be really pathetic. Like, holy fuck, dude. We haven't seen Vladdy Mash. He's ours.
I'm worried. I'm worried for you. You might storm the field if this doesn't happen.
No, I won't be able to storm the field. I'll be too busy eating and drinking, so I don't have to keep my mask on.
Yeah, that's a good point.
My hands will be full. I'll be in no position. I'll be seated. I'll be seated. We got Ross Stripling pitching. I haven't looked at. I saw we were almost minus 200, and I couldn't in good conscience bet that because I would want to bet the game too hard that loss would cost me too much money. But when I'm done here, I'll probably look into like team total.
That's true fandom right there. Geoff, I want you to know the Mets played on my birthday. I could have gone on Wednesday, and I didn't because I knew I'd spend way too much money on that game, that if they lost, it'd be a bad birthday. So I'm on the same level as you. Just so you know, too, minus 235 money line here at DraftKings. Run line is minus 125. So I think everyone thinks the Blue Jays are going to win. That line is
people are like, this isn't like the Falcons returning from Katrina. Like, this is exciting, but it's different. It's Ross Stripling is the starting pitcher, and the Blue Jays are minus 230. That's impossible. Like that's insane. If this
Doesn't
was
make
a
sense.
normal game, like if this was just July 30 and I was going to the game, I'd consider betting the Royals. Like baseball's weird. It's 162 games. You can like bet. I would never ever ever bet against the Chargers. I would just take like if the book was giving me 12 points, I'd just take the points. Baseball, I have bet against the Jays. Like summers are long and your team can suck at times and even good teams. So, but like I
That's
don't
the
know how to
beautiful
bet
thing
this.
about being a fan, Jeff, though. You know when to bet against the team, especially in a sport like baseball. I wouldn't bet against the Giants either. I'll always take them with the points. But betting baseball, I mean, a good series, you win 2 out of 3, right? So if you know when that one loss is coming, it can be profitable, especially if your team's at home. So
You
I'm
know,
right there with
it's
you.
a very healthy like relationship if you can be willing to think that they're capable of losing. And I guess because there's 162 games, the math just like they're going to lose like a lot, even a good team. Football, there's so few games, I'm never willing to bet they'll lose. Ever. Ever. So yeah, I totally I totally get that from that end. Tino, I want to flip this in one way. I want to talk about the Chargers with you for a moment, but just on a very polarizing level. I've seen
Cool.
it discussed on a lot of places. Um, myself here, when talking prize picks, on some of the other shows, have debated this player, Austin Eckler. I would say one of the more polarizing fantasy players as we get very close to draft day. If you're in a PPR league, a full point PPR league, you probably almost could argue you don't care how he does rushing the ball. Like you are drafting him to be fed in the air, which he will be. But
Mm-hmm.
the debate on Austin Eckler and rushing the football and how a lack of depth the Chargers do have. Prize Picks has a season long over under at 825 rushing yards. That seems really low. If you think Austin Eckler is capable of 3 100-yard games, I would assume he crushes that. I don't want to say crush, but if you think that he's capable of a couple 100-yard rushing games, then I think that could be a number in the bag. But I'm a Chargers fan. It's a new offense. I'm not really sure how they're going to use him, but I am expecting heavy combined volume.
So, I mean, to your point, I think the biggest worry is seeing how the offense comes out of the gates first. But I mean, you're right. I think a lot of people paint the picture that Eckler is only a receiver, a receiving back, but he does run the ball relatively well. His first 2 games out of the gates last year, 2020, 84 yards on the ground, 19 carries, 93 yards, 16 carries. I want to take a look at your schedule real quick. I mean, you play some soft teams. I mean, some
There's some. We
doable teams.
start with an NFC East run. I
2
believe.
NFC East teams, yeah, and one of those is Dallas, so that's going to be Austin Eckler's coming out party probably. I'd bet is over that day for sure in rushing. Look, my thing with Austin Eckler is in fantasy, like redraft, he's king. Like the guy is just untouchable in full point PPR redraft leagues. It's just where to mark him up in dynasty. I mean, I like the over in terms of what you're saying. It's a 17 game season. You start out with some softies. So if you could get somewhere around 250 early on, I know that's super optimistic. I mean, it's doable throughout the
Yeah,
rest of the season.
and the people that are like really high on him and that have maybe even overdrafted what some could think is already pretty high ADP or projection. There are a lot of people who are smarter than me that I enjoy when they say this, that they are fully expecting him to be like not even to be like a poor man's, but like better than a way better than a poor man's version of Kamara. Saints offensive coordinator Joe
Hmm.
Lombardi will now be running the Chargers. He does like on the surface, you see a lot of like similar skill sets. Obviously, football. I'm not here to say Eckler's better than Kamara. I'm hoping for a handful of Sundays he is. That would be really
Yep.
fun. I'm not making that call. I wouldn't draft him ahead of him, but to be a poor man's Kamara and to have that exact usage, Is that a fair expectation, or that's probably way too high? Not so much the ceiling. I'm not, but the usage and Kamara's usage. You want to own that. You want to own that.
Well, the beautiful thing too, Geoff, is you got better on the offensive line, which should reassure, running between the trenches. And it's his competition. I mean, the way the Chargers backfield looks, it's a lot of the same from years past. I mean, Joshua Kelly would be the guy that you'd think would take, the blunt of the blow.
Woof.
I know. And that's
No,
just
it's
not
bad.
happening.
It's bad there. I don't like Justin Jackson. I'm hoping for more from Joshua Kelly.
Yeah.
There's not really, like, when you look at other teams, you could see like a committee.
No.
There's going to have to be a level of committee because the volume would be so high for the rushing receiving player that Eckler is to not, be spared at times or drives. But another thing that I want to point out is Justin Herbert ran for 5 touchdowns last year. There is no way that's the plan again. Justin Herbert is probably more athletic than people even give him credit for, but there's no way I would expect a nice regression from the 5. I don't think they want him doing it. He's shown that, well, let's just keep him in the pocket. But B, we've seen, like, when you're a rookie quarterback in the NFL, like, beyond succeeding is like you got to win like almost your locker room over, or you need to show people how like tough you are. And a lot of those Herbert touchdowns were pretty much like, no, I'm just tucking it. Like, I'm going to show them like I can do this. And he would get popped at the goal line, or it would be this like nasty scrum. And I don't think that's going to be I don't think he needs to prove himself to his teammates this year. And I don't think that can be part of the game plan to have him running them in.
So half a season last year, Eckler had 530 rushing yards. That's what I'm reading here on the statistics. And that's pretty good because he only played really about 9 games, give or take. So looks better for the over there as well. And if you discount the 1 game he got injured, which he didn't do anything in. And then Herbert reminds me a lot of, and this is why everyone's so high on him, those goal line touchdowns that you're talking about, very similar to Josh Allen in Buffalo. Because when you look at them from a fantasy perspective, the Buffalo backfield is such a nightmare to manage. Like, obviously, that's a committee. People are higher on Moss. Singletary's been there, hasn't done much. But at the end of the day, Josh Allen in the goal line, you'd rather him have the ball in his hands. The dude's massive, leap over the pile. The 1 yard, the 1 yard rushing touchdowns are going to come from him. So if you're looking for touchdowns,
I would fight back on, like, Josh Allen has listen, I am so excited. What's funny, Tino, is I swear to you, 1 year ago in the pre-Herbert draft process, before the Chargers even drafted him, me just reading all of it, there were so many people that compared Josh Allen as his pre-draft comp. And I'm telling you, it was said as a negative. Like, it wasn't like this is an amazing guy to be comp to. It was like this, like, okay, that could be a good thing, that could be a bad thing. On top of that, it's not really what I care to discuss.
Hey, Geoff, I don't mean to cut you off. I think I might be breaking news here just because I'm a biased Mets fan. But I think the Mets, so Feinstein is saying here, I'm watching MLB Network, the Mets have a deal in place pending medicals to acquire Javi Baez from the Cubs. So that's exciting.
Wow.
That's very exciting. Very, very excited.
Wow.
My phone is blowing up, so I'm pretty sure that's true.
That's big. I mean, Javi turned down an enormous extension a year ago that he has to regret turning down because he has not been the player that the Cubs were willing to pay him to be. And I guess, like, once you turn down that offer and the team decides they're not willing to offer you that much money again, it makes it hard to agree to a contract, like with the Cubs for him, right? Because he's like, no, I want that offer you offered me. And they're like, yeah, that's gone. He's like, well, I'm not signing for less. And they're like, okay, well, then you're gone. And now he's a Met. So I'm not sure what the compensation is, but that's a nice little grab for the Mets. Are you?
So that's not up yet, but in terms of the contract now, it does help that we have Uncle Stevie who has some.
Yeah, of course. The Mets don't acquire. when an organization like the Mets acquire a player like Javi Baez, who is going to soon be a free agent, I suspect that they already feel like they are prepared to pay him market value.
Yeah. This is wild, though. Now they're saying the Giants seem like the San Francisco Giants may be getting Chris Bryant. It seems like in the final hour, that's going to be the home stretch. The Cubs are really about to just give up their entire World Series roster. That's insane. And sorry about my dog if you could hear her.
No, that's fine. I'm just sort of processing it. It's pretty wild. Lindor and Baez as an infield.
The deal may be more than just Baez. They're saying either Zach Davies or Trevor Williams could be a part of it as well. The deal, they're still talking about. Okay, so that was from Rosenthal. I guess the deal is pending. So I don't know. The language is very iffy right now, but it seems like
Trevor Williams to the Mets.
Let's go.
What an insane trade deadline. Baseball, I don't know. Baseball hasn't had a deadline like this maybe ever. Certainly that I can remember. Wow.
It's staggering to me too, Geoff, that like Rizzo, I think, is the most surprising one. Like, I didn't really see Rizzo to the Yanks coming yesterday, and I kind of threw me for a curveball. That's how I knew this was going to be wacky because, I mean, who's the face of the Cubs now if Chris Bryant's gone? I mean, really, this is just a team that, talk about self-destruct mode. I mean, that's a fire sale.
Wow. Yeah, and I mean, this deadline's an hour away. That Kimbrel deal has to be happening. I mean, there's no way.
So he's going to the White Sox. Yeah, that just got finalized. It's official.
So that must have happened in this hour. Okay. And the White Sox, wow, they're loading up too. All right, baseball. Baseball's fun. My team made a trade today. I don't know. I'm not fully sold, but I'm excited. I'm one of those losers that clutches prospects, but I think it's a player the Jays 100% need for 2022 as a part of their rotation because we're coming. We're coming.
You're going for the wild card, you think, right? I mean, there's got to be a fighting.
But that's the thing. I didn't really feel like I was one of those people that like the math on us to make the playoffs this year is really hard. And I think a lot of Jays fans like don't realize that like the actual like to make playoff probability is probably like 23%. That's going to take 650, 670 ball, maybe. But so I'm more thinking along the lines of 2022 in that regard. PrizePicks, prizepicks.com, promo code FTN. 100% instant match bonus up to $100. It's you versus that projection over at prizepicks.com. Full slate of Olympic golf on the go where the coverage is fantastic. Coverage is absolutely fantastic. Xander Schauffele, leader in the clubhouse. Xander Schauffele, the leader on the draft. Leader on the PrizePicks projection board with an over-under round of 67. I deserve that. Don't worry. If you want to cut it up, you can. I deserve that. Over-under projection of 67. I'll be making my multi-sport ticket. Olympic golf, Olympic basketball, MLB, UFC this weekend, soccer, everything over at PrizePicks, prizepicks.com. Use that promo code FTN 100%. Deposit bonus on your first deposit. As I told you guys before, baseball's back in Toronto. I'm going to the game. As you just saw 40 seconds ago, I am ready to give her. I'll see you next Wednesday.